Have you ever thought someone was flirting with you, only to find out they were just being nice? Or maybe the opposite. You assumed someone was just being friendly, but it turned out they were actually interested in you. Well, here's a wild stat to start us off. 65% of people admit they've misread someone's intentions in this exact way. That's more than half of us, walking around second guessing cues, wondering if a compliment or a kind gesture means something more. And honestly, it makes sense. Humans are social creatures, but we're not exactly the best at clearly communicating what we mean. Someone could laugh at all your jokes and make strong eye contact, and suddenly your brain goes into overdrive. Is this just who they are, or do they like me? It's confusing, it's awkward, and if you get it wrong, it can lead to some very embarrassing situations. In today's video, we're diving into this exact topic. How do you tell the difference between someone being friendly and someone flirting with you? Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll have a much better idea of how to read the room, and avoid those moments where you're left wondering, what just happened here? Let's face it, we've all been there. Whether it's with a friend, a coworker, or even a stranger, there are moments when someone's behavior feels ambiguous. Maybe they compliment your appearance or they go out of their way to do something thoughtful for you and suddenly you start to question everything. Is this normal? Are they just being nice? Or am I missing something here? This confusion happens all the time because the line between friendliness and flirting isn't always clear. People express themselves in different ways, and what might feel like flirting to one person could just be someone else's default way of being kind or outgoing. Add that to the fact that body language, tone of voice, and even cultural differences play a huge role in how we communicate, and it's no wonder people get confused. That's why this topic is so important. Misunderstandings like this can cause awkwardness, hurt feelings, or even damage relationships. So today, we're going to break it all down. What makes flirting different from being friendly, why these signals get mixed up so often, and how you can learn to tell the difference. Here's the problem. Social cues are hard to interpret. They're subtle, they're subjective, and they're often delivered in ways that depend on context. For example, let's say someone compliments your outfit. Depending on the situation, that could mean a lot of different things. Maybe they're genuinely impressed by your sense of style and want to tell you. Or maybe they're trying to find an excuse to talk to you because they're interested in you romantically. How do you know which it is? The emotional stakes are even higher when it happens in friendships. If you read a friend's actions as romantic, it can lead to some really awkward situations, and in some cases, it might even jeopardize the friendship itself. On the flip side, if someone is interested in you and you don't pick up on it, they might feel rejected or ignored. And it's not just about misreading intentions, it's also about how these misunderstandings make us feel. Think about it. If you assume someone is flirting with you when they're not, you might feel self-embarrassed or self-conscious when you realize the truth. Or, if you don't realize someone is flirting with you until later, you might feel like you missed a missed opportunity. Either way, it's a tough situation to navigate. So, how can you tell the difference between flirting and friendliness? Let's break it down into three key areas: body language, tone of voice, and context. Number 1. Body language. Flirting often involves more intentional physical cues. This could be prolonged eye contact, playful touches on the arm or shoulder, or leaning in closer than usual during a conversation. Friendly behavior, on the other hand, tends to be more neutral. Think of a casual high five or a brief smile. These actions are kind, but don't necessarily signal romantic interest. But here's the catch. Everyone has a different comfort level with physical touch. Some people are naturally more touchy, so context matters a lot. Is this how they treat everyone, or are they singling you out? Number 2. Tone of voice. The way someone speaks to you can also give you clues. Flirting often involves a playful tease or a playful tone with a little bit of extra charm thrown in. They might lower the voice, laugh a little more, or exaggerate certain words to draw attention to what they're saying. Friendly conversations, on the other hand, are more straightforward. The tone is warm and kind, but it doesn't have the extra layer of spark. Number 3. Context of interactions. Finally, think about the context. Are you in a group setting where this person is treating everyone the same way, or are they giving you special attention? For example, if someone offers to help you with something small, that could just be a friendly gesture. But if they're going out of their way to do something for you constantly, it might mean something more. It's also important to think about patterns. One compliment doesn't necessarily mean someone is flirting, but if they're regularly complimenting you, finding excuses to talk about you, and remembering small details about your life, that's a stronger signal. Let me share a quick story to put this all into perspective. I once had a friend who would always text me first, laugh at all my jokes, and remember the smallest things I mentioned, like my favorite coffee order. For weeks, I thought, this person's definitely into me. So I worked up the courage to bring it up, and it turned out they were just being a genuinely nice and attentive friend. Was it awkward? Absolutely. But looking back, I realized I had missed one key detail. They treated everyone that way. What felt like special attention to me was just how they naturally interacted with people. The lesson here, context is everything. Before jumping to conclusions, take a step back and think about how this person interacts with others. It might save you from a lot of awkwardness. So, to sum it up, the difference between flirting and friendliness comes down to body language, tone of voice, and context. Flirting is usually more intentional and directed, while friendliness is broader and more neutral. But at the end of the day, everyone communicates differently, so it's important to look at big picture and not just individual actions. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where you couldn't tell if someone was flirting with you or just being nice? Share your story in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.